Good evening, students. In the previous class, we have completed the introduction part and the classification of plants. To understand morphology of flowering plants or morphology science which deals with the study of form, structure, shape, size and characters has to be started by understanding the parts present in a flowering plant. Generally, in a flowering plant, there are two parts. The part which is present below the soil is called root system. It consists of various structures, and the part above the soil is called shoot system. So this is, every student from their childhood are familiar with these two names, that is root system and shoot system. The difference is, this is above the soil, level of soil. Below the soil, underground. Above the soil. Above the soil is called aerial. Underground, aerial. Below, underground. So it is easily understandable. Underground means below the soil. We cannot see unless we will pluck a plant from the soil. Above the soil, we are able to see. For this, there is a technical word which is called aerial. Aerial, A-E-R-I-A-L. Aerial means into the air, into the atmosphere. Above the soil, visible. We can see that. In this shoot system, generally, here I am showing you some structures. These structures are called node. N-O-D-E, node. Another node. N-O-D-E, another node. So what is this node? Node is the place or region on the shoot system, on the stem, where leaves will be formed. Leaves developed, produced, formed. So the area of the stem where there is a place called node, leaves will be formed. Or from this place, branches can be formed, can be developed. Another node, leaves can be formed. Another node, leaves. So in between every two nodes, there is a region. This is called internode. So these are the terms we have to understand if we want to study root. See here, interestingly, we are not studying without root. We are not going to study any morphology. First basic is root. Why, sir? Whenever this plant is formed, from which part plant will form, how plants will grow? From the seed. What is seed? It is a product of reproduction. When two plants or two sexes join together, undergoes reproduction, they will form zygote, and that zygote undergoes divisions to become an embryo which is present in the form of a seed, and it is dormant seed. Dormant means dormancy, which is a state which cannot be considered as a living or dead. Dormant condition means neither this is considered as a living one, nor this is considered as a dead one. As long as if you keep this seed in our house in the gunny bags, it will be like that only. And it is not correct that we can say it is a dead. But when you take the seed from the gunny bag, and if you sow that seed in the soil, by putting some water, pouring some water, this seed will germinate. It means it is living. So the inactive state of seed is called dormant seed. As long as it is dormant, it is not going to germinate. So when it is going to germinate, when it requires, when it has received some water, when it receives some air, when it receives some soil structure, here when it is going to germinate, it will produce a structure like this, later a structure like this. This structure is called radicle. Radicle develops into root system. This structure is called plumule. Plumule develops into stem and shoot system. So, whenever a seed which is dormant in condition, so in the soil and poured with water sufficient within time period of 2 to 3 days or dormancy, the germination depends upon the type of species, seeds. So when it is going to germinate means it will break the seed coat and some structures will come mature. As long as it is here, it is an embryo. Embryo means it is not having a particular shape or structure, so many cells. And when we are adding water, the cells will divide and mature to form structures. This structure is called radicle, R-A-D-I-C-L-E. This structure is called plumule, P-L-U-M-U-L-E. And as and when time progresses, it develops like a plant. This plant consists of, from this radicle, root and root system, from this plumule, stem and shoot system. Now, these are the two parts, and these two parts are, one is below the soil, one is above the soil. And first we are going to study the parts of flowering plant starts with root. What is root? From the germinating seed, the part which develops is called radicle, and radicle directly becomes root. So, when seed germinates, it produces a primary structure called radicle. This radicle gradually develops into root. So the extended part of radicle is called root. Then question comes, what is this root means? What are the characters of root? Seed, germinated seed, radicle, I repeat, plumule, it will become a plant. Plant body consists of two systems, one is underground, one is above the ground. Underground is root system, above the ground shoot system. To identify, to understand root well, let us see the first, that is, which we are able to see, are called nodes, internodes, node, internode, node. At every node, leaves or branches or flowers will come. Here, what about the root? Characters of the root. Root is the part of seed which is called radicle, and radicle directly develops into root. So root is considered as descending part. Descending means going inside. Ascending, descending, upward, downward. So downwardly growing. Downward means where? Into the soil. Descending part of the plant. Non-photosynthetic part. non-photosynthetic part. Non-photosynthetic means it does not perform the process of photosynthesis. It is non-green. It generally does not possess buds. Here statement type of questions, my dear students. Generally does not possess means rarely in some plants roots may possess buds. That is the concept. Assertion reason type, statement type of question. All plants does not possess buds at all. Wrong statement. Some plants, some buds may be developed from the roots for vegetative propagation. So it generally does not possess buds. What are those buds? Floral buds, leaf buds. Leaf buds and flower buds. So this sentence clear. Descending means growing downwards. I repeat. Photosynthetic, non-photosynthetic means non-green, no photosynthesis. Generally, buds are absent. It does not produce nodes and internodes. For this purpose. So nodes and internodes are present in stem, but nodes and internodes are absent in root. It does not produce nodes and internodes. See and write in a systematic way. Root. Seed germinates from the germinated seed, from the radical, directly root develops. So the origin of root is from radical. Now, generally, root is considered as positively geotrophic and negatively phototropic. Here, positively geotropic means it is going towards the gravity of the earth, towards the soil, towards the gravitational force of the earth. So it is called positively geo, soil, tropic movement. So root shows its movements towards the soil, towards the gravity of the earth. So it is always going down, generally and mostly. So positively geotrophic, moving towards the soil. Negatively phototropic. So photo means sunlight. Root is not going towards the sunlight. It is going away from the sunlight. So it is called negatively phototropic. Positively geotropic, negatively photo. Both are giving the same meaning, but the term and definitions are different. Geotropic means towards the soil, away from the sunlight. It is positively hydrotropic. Write the correct sentence. Identify the correct statements regarding the movement of the roots. Positively hydrotrophic. Here positively geotrophic. It is moves towards the soil. Why it is moving towards the soil? In search of water. Towards the water. Hydro means water. For the sake of water, to take the water and mineral elements present in the water, it is moving towards the water. So it is called positively hydrotropic. Roots generally perform roots. So we are discussing the characteristic feature of a root. Here we are not discussing any dicot or monocot, nothing. We are discussing about what is root and what are its characteristic features. Roots generally perform the function of first one, fixation to the soil, which is called anchorage, anchoring the soil. Fix it to the soil for the support to stand on the soil. Fixation is the first important function. Now, roots perform storage of food. Anchorage and storage of food, because roots are growing in the soil, they also need food material for getting energy, for respiration. So, storage of food, if food is not stored in the roots, root will die. Even though plant is surviving well, plant will fall off immediately without any doubt, because root dead. Storage of root. Third part, absorption of water and minerals, mineral salts from the soil. So if they ask you to arrange in an order, first fixation of the soil, second absorption of water and minerals, third storage of food. Like that also. Absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Fourth, it has to conduct this. After absorbing the water and minerals, it has to pass. If the root is not well, if the root is not capable to supply this part is called conduction. Absorption and conduction, most of the books, they are not going to discuss this part generally. Most of the absorption of water and mineral salts, conduction of the same to the upper parts. Conduction of the same upper part. Even though stem main function is conduction of water, but to some extent it has to send the synthesis of plant growth regulators. Plant growth regulators, which are called plant hormones. Plant hormones which will regulate the growth. At what stage it has to form flower, at what stage it has to form leaves, at what stage it has to produce fruits. All these things are regulated. How much it has to grow, all these things. Growth regulators like auxins, gibberellins, etc. Ethylene, abscisic acid, cytokinins. So these are the general functions of the root. Now, when we want to study in a root, what are the regions present? If you want to study in a systematic way, my dear students, in the textbook NCERT or most of the material, they will give jumbled here and there and here. Systematic order means perfectly we have to plan how to understand, how to follow the root. What is root? Root is so and so, underground, descending part, non-green, does not form flowers or leaves, does not form any buds or any nodes and internodes. It is positively geotrophic, negatively phototropic, positively hydrotropic, perform functions of fixation, storage, absorption and synthesis of plant growth regulators. Then the regions present in a root. Regions are the zones present in a root. when you study regions or zones present in a root, we have to take the diagram of a root like a transparency, longitudinal section. Transparent or a longitudinal section from where we can see the inner layers of the root. See here. I have cutted here transverse section like a cutting, and I have cutted this longitudinal section. So for example, this is the root, this is the root you are going to watch, but I am showing this like this part, some internal structure of the root, and here I have shown transparency or longitudinal to identify, to imagine what is there inside. See here, the uppermost layer is called epidermis, like a skin. Epi, upon, derma, skin. Upon the body, skin-like structure. It consists of cells, so many cells, which covers and protects the inner structures. What is there inside? Let us see this. Here, inside the epidermis, there is a layer. This layer is called, this place, cortex. Inside this cortex, some layers, it consists of another. This place is called endodermis, the layer endodermis. Inside this, some other is there. This is called this area, this place, pericycle. So, to understand the internal structure, it is required to cut it transversely. Inside this pericycle, what are there? So many vascular bundles are there, which are called xylem and phloem. Xylem, phloem, xylem, phloem, xylem, phloem, xylem, phloem. So this is generally whenever you take a root and cut it and want to show this like this, internal. And now let us see this in a transparent way. This is the area of cortex. This is the area of endodermis. This is the area of pericycle. Now, various regions of the root or zones present in a root, when studied in a sequential order from the tip of the root to the base of the root. From the tip of the root to the base of the root, or from base to the tip. Here we are going to study from the, because it is growing like this, it is not growing like this. Root is always here, it is growing. Again it will grow. It means, so the region where it is growing, from here it is growing like this. we have taken a root here. First region is called root cap region. Or root cap zone. First zone, which is root cap region or root cap zone. It is the distal part or last part of the root. Distal end, proximal end. For example, human body. Toe is distal. To the distal, proximal is knee. Now this is knee is distal, proximal is pelvic girdle. Now this is distal, proximal is thoracic, abdomen. This is distal, proximal is neck. This is distal, proximal is head. So this is called proximal end. This is called, in the same way, base of the root is called proximal. Root cap is called distal. So what is this root cap? It is a dead cells are present here. They are protecting the inner tissues. So the function of the root cap. What is this root cap? It is a thimble-like, in the textbook they have given. A thimble-like structure, thimble-like portion or tip where some cells are present. They are protective. How protective? See here, this is the tip. In this tip, some cells are present which are always dividing and growing. So for example, this is root. These cells will divide and grow. It means root is growth. Up to here, root is grown. These cells will divide. Root grows. So at the root tip, some cells are there which are called dividing cells, meristematic cells, always active in cell division and responsible for the growth of the tip. To protect this, root cap is present. What is meant by protection here? See this, my dear students. This root cap, a hard structure when compared to this thin. And this root cap is responsible to penetrate into the soil. See here, my dear students. Soil is hard material, a substratum structure where this root cap is able to penetrate by producing some mucilage. Some mucilaginous substances it is producing. Because of this mucilaginous substances, soil, even though it is hard, it becomes smooth. It becomes lubricant. And when it is growing inside, sometimes, if root cap is not there, these cells will become rupture. So there is no protection. To protect these cells, root cap is present. Again, when it is responsible for smoothening or lubricating the soil with the help of mucilage, produce mucilage, mucilage, which lubricates the soil, lubricating. So easily it will enter into the soil. And again, root cap sometimes it ruptures. When it is moving into the soil, it ruptures. Again, it is having the capacity of regeneration. Mucilage, capacity of regeneration. And the root cap is generally absent in those plants which are living in water. The plants which are living in water, there is no need of penetrating the soil, only water. So instead of root cap, the plants which are living in water, they possess root pockets. Root cap zone in soil plants, root pockets in water plants. Root pockets lost the capacity of regeneration. My dear students, our class, it constitutes all the concepts of not only PUC, CET, NEET, all the national level examinations. So sometimes it looks complicated and more than the required, more than the surface of the NCERT. Sometimes it may be around the surface, deeper layers of the surface. So whenever once we are going to take a class, completely we have to complete that class. Nothing should be there. Again refreshing at the time of conducting the examination. Further more details, few more details. So root pockets lost the capacity of regeneration. They cannot be regenerated. So here root cap region is the first region just above the root cap region, few millimeters above the root cap. So this is called distal to the proximal end of the root cap. This is proximal, this is distal. If this is distal, this is proximal. This is distal, this is proximal. Like that. Just now I explained. Root cap to the proximal end of the root cap, there is a region. This region is called meristematic region. Meristematic zone. It means the cells which are always young and which are able to divide. They were in a state of continuous dividing. Continuous dividing. It means there is no chance for them to store any food material. So there is no chance of presence of vacuoles. If vacuoles are present, they will be very small. Generally, vacuoles are absent. What is vacuole? In a cell, whenever some food is there and it is to store that food, it has to develop vacuole. But meristematic cells are young dividing cells. It means, see here, meristematic cells, one cell divides into two cells. Two cells divides into four cells. Four cells divides into 8 cells. So whenever they are growing, each and every cell grows. There is no time, there is no place for them to store food material. When again they are going to divide, they will be. So like this, the number of cells are 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 32. They are goes on increasing. Such ability of these cells is called meristematic activity. Meristems are always young dividing cells which are present at the tips of the stems, tips of the roots, and these meristematic cells are responsible for the growth, and again they were protected by the root cap. So the zone of cell division, meristematic zone of cell division, meristematic gene is meristematic zone. Young dividing cells always characters. We will study these again in anatomy, various characters of all these structures, again root system detailed. Always young dividing cells, nucleus prominent, dense cytoplasm. Means the density of cytoplasm is protoplasm or cytoplasm, density of protoplasm. No vacuoles. If they were present, they were very small. These are the characteristic features of this zone. Is called meristematic zone, dividing zone. Just above the, so proximal to this, these cells are elongated cells. Each and every cell, here small cells, here elongated cells, and in these elongated cells the capacity of cell division stopped. The capacity of cell division stopped. Nucleus, he lost the capacity of cell division. The cells grown to the maximum. Maximum growth means cell elongated. This is round, small cells. Above this region is called zone of elongation, elongation region. One, two, three. The cells lost the capacity of division. Third one, elongation zone. Elongation means what, sir? Every cell grows to the maximum. When a cell grows to the maximum, it means it is going to become mature gradually. So, sir, nucleus will undergo and it lose the capacity of division. So, it develops vacuoles, it stores food material. Why it is not dividing now? Elongation, cells enlarge. Vacuoles are present. Lost the capacity of cell division. Lost the capacity of division. So these are the characteristic features. Gradually, the elongation zone enters into mature zone. The total area is called maturation zone. Maturation zone, you can write here. Maturation means the cells here, they become mature and attain permanent shapes and structures, and they develop in such a way to perform various other functions. Various functions. It means an embryo in the body which is not having any shape, when time progresses, first month, second month, third month, fourth month, gradually embryo starts maturation and formation of parts like hands, fingers, limbs, legs, eyes. In the course of months for human embryo, for about 8 to 9 months, how it forms, matures and develops its organs like that. Here, these are the zones where they were not mature, they were immature, dividing, dead, elongated, lost the capacity. Here they mature and produces certain structures which are called root hairs. So root hairs are present, it means the cells are matured and they got some structure and appear like a root hair. What is this root hair? Root hairs are unicellular elongations of the epidermis, epidermal cells. So when we see in the diagram, this is the epidermal cell, this is the root hair. So these are all root hairs. Question comes, zone of maturation, it means which is proximal to the elongation. This mature zone, cells will become mature and they will attain shapes. What shape they are attaining? They are attaining the shape of root hairs. And what is the function of root hair? To absorb the water. To absorb the water. And how root hairs are capable to absorb more water? Why, sir? Why? Because this is the cell present in the epidermis. Cell present in the epidermis. Cell present in the epidermis but forms root hair. Cell in the epidermis. Cell in the... So when we compare, watch here my dear students, when we compare the size and surface, only this much area. Only this much area. So they will absorb very less amount of water, whereas root hair is larger surface area. So large surface area, hence root hairs are responsible to absorb more amount of water and minerals. It is nothing but they were present in the maturation zone. So the cells in the maturation zones are matured and they got some shapes and they are performing some functions. Here the function of this maturity zone is absorption of water. So my dear students, there are 4 zones: root cap zone, meristematic zone, elongation, maturation. Now I have given these names: cortex, endodermis, pericycle and epidermis. Question comes, this part they will explain and they will add one word. Root hairs are exogenous and secondary roots. This is the root, primary root. At one stage it will form secondary roots. Secondary roots will form tertiary roots. They will form rootlets. So a root system will come. To understand that, they have given root hairs originate, it means develop, from epidermis. I have shown in the diagram, my dear students. From the epidermis, they were developed. So they were called exogenous. Exogenously produced. Exo means outside. Exo, E-X-O-G-N-O-U-S. Exogenously means when root hairs are developed from the epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer now. Now, secondary roots are endogenously. Endo means inside. Most important concept, my dear students. Endogenously means secondary roots or lateral roots which are developed like this. They will develop from the inner parts. What is that inner part? Pericycle. From the pericycle, secondary roots are going to develop. From the pericycle. From the pericycle. So the concept of exogenously, endogenously refers to the origin of root hairs and secondary roots. Secondary roots. We'll see in the next class. From pericycle. Pericycle is the innermost lesion. So from the inner parts, secondary roots are coming. From outer parts, epidermis, root hairs are coming. We'll see in the next class. Just to see the textbook. I have not started the classification of roots, that is taproot or adventitious.